Good morning. We're going to have a glance at the issue of tissue renewal and stem cells. I am Professor Dalia Elgamal, working at the Department of Histology and Cell Biology at Faculty of Medicine, Assiut. These are the intended learning outcomes of our lecture. We hope you should know the definition of stem cells and recognizing the progenitor cells and their characters, the tissue potentials to regeneration, then the difference between the rapidly and the slowly or stable cell populations. Also, we hope you to know the terminal differentiated cells and the different classifications for stem cells. First of all, we need to know whose cells to call stem cells. They are defined as undifferentiated cells whose cycling serves to renew the differentiated cells of tissues as needed. They have three main characters. First of all, that they exist in small amounts in all the body as small population. Second, they divide infrequently as needed, as we previously said, and their divisions are asymmetric, which means that they divide to renew themselves and to renew differentiated cells of the tissues. When they divide, stem cells change or turn into progenitor cells. What are the progenitor cells? They are the daughters of the pluripotent stem cells. They are more rapidly dividing, committing to differentiation, but they have a reduced potentiality, which means that they are committed to a single cell lineage. When divide, they give only one type of cells. They do not divide to give many types of cells. No, they have reduced potentiality than the stem cells. And cells from the progenitor cells become terminally differentiated. This leads us to know the meaning of tissue regeneration. Tissue regeneration is the capacity for mitosis within a tissue, either by a differentiated cell or by a reserve of stem cells. This division has a turnover rate. When they divide rapidly and continuously, they are called rapidly renewing cells, and the best example is the epithelium of the lining skin. While those who divide slowly and in episodes means that in attacks or as needed. So they are divide to maintain the tissue integrity, and this group of cells we call stable cell population of cells. They are most obvious in the connective tissues or the smooth. The terminally differentiated cells are the cells which do not enter the cell cycle and do not divide again. They are terminally differentiated. The best example we have here are the nerve cells and the cardiac muscle cells. Next, we have to know the types of stem cells. They are classified according to several classifications, the first of which is based upon the origin of these stem cells. The first type is embryonic stem cells. They are derived from the blastocysts of the embryo. They are pluripotent stem cells, which means they are able to differentiate to all derivatives of the three germ layers, ectodermal or endodermal or mesodermal, but they have a major issue in that they have limited clinical use because they are illegal. Secondly are the adult stem cells, which are present in the adult human body. The first category of the adult stem cells are the hemopoietic stem cells. They are found in the bone marrow, and they are able to differentiate to different types of blood cells. In fact, they are a type which is multipotent and not pluripotent as the previous cells. The second category are the mesenchymal cells. They are multipotent cells also. They differentiate into limited types of tissues like fat cells, muscle cells, cartilage cells, or bone cells, according to the environment they are present in. They are found, the mesenchymal stem cells are found in the adipose tissues in different organs. They can be obtained to be cultured also in vitro, and they are used therapeutically nowadays for treating many diseases, and especially burns or spinal cord problems or defects. A newly discovered type of cells, of stem cells, are the induced pluripotent stem cells. These cells have the functions and the characters of adult stem cells, but can be reprogrammed and induced to be acting like embryonic stem cells with all their capabilities to differentiate to different cell types. So actually they are adult stem cells and reprogrammed to be to have the characters or the functions of the embryonic stem cells. Another classification for stem cells based on their differentiation potential, showing us that there are 5 types of stem cells, the first of which is totipotent and the last of which is the unipotent. The totipotent cells are the most active or the most differentiating dividing cell into many types of tissues, while the unipotent are the least or the weakest type, which can divide into its single type of cells. The totipotent cell example is the fertilized egg. The stem cells in the fertilized egg are the most powerful that exist. They can differentiate into the embryonic as well as the extra-embryonic tissues. The second type is the pluripotent type. The pluripotent stem cells, they are similar to the totipotent stem cells, but they are the next most powerful type of stem cells. The importance of this cell type is that they can self-renew and differentiate into any of the 3 germ layers, which are the ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm. So I previously talked about them, and we know that the embryonic stem cells we lastly discussed are the pluripotent stem cells. The third type is the multipotent stem cells. The multipotent stem cells are the middle range type. For example, they are the mesenchymal stem cells. They have the ability to differentiate into osteoblasts, for example, or bone cells, to myocytes, to fat cells, or adipocytes. So they have a limited ability of differentiated, less than the pluripotent stem cells. The fourth type are the oligopotent stem cells. The oligopotent stem cells are the next type, which are similar to the category of the multipotent stem cells, but they become further restricted to their capacity of differentiation, which I mean they can self-renew and differentiate, but they can only do so to a limited extent. They can do so in closely related cell types. So we have a very famous example like the hemopoietic stem cell, which can be differentiated into the myeloid series and the lymphoid series for the production of cells of the immune system and cells of the blood tissue. Lastly is the unipotent stem cell. The unipotent stem cell is called unipotent because they can differentiate to its type only, which means that they have the least potency. An example of this stem cell would be the muscle stem cell. This figure explains the last slide, in which we talked about the types of stem cells according to the potency. The apex of this triangle is occupied by the totipotent, which are the most and the mostly active type in differentiated into several types of tissues, and the base is occupied by the unipotent cells such as the muscle stem cells, which can differentiate into the same lineage of cells when exposed to any type of injury or as needed. Thank you. I hope all have a happy feast. Goodbye.